This is Steve, and he challenged me to escape his house. But how did I get here in the first place? It all started with me enjoying a peaceful walk in the forest. But what I didn't realize is that I was heading towards a private area, and that is when Steve confronted me. I was confused on why Steve challenged me to escape his house, but I had nothing better to do. So I accepted the challenge. I found his key and went straight in. First room I walked to, Steve decided to scare me. Now, if you think that I got scared, then you are absolutely wrong. I'm a man, not a boy. I closed the door and decided to ignore him. I started by searching the living room where I only found one thing. There were 10 colors of concrete, but it had no use since I just started. I went to the office where I saw a locked chest, a printer that needed paper, and a computer I could use to access the printer. I tried to see if there was anything hidden behind the painting and noticed a button. I pressed it and it revealed a barrel with a flint steel. I left the office and noticed that there was a full set of diamond armor just waiting to be worn, and so I did. But what I didn't know is that it was more than just a decoration. I went to the dining room to see if there were any hidden barrels below the table, but found nothing. I then went to the kitchen, and since this is an escape map, I knew I had to press every button I see. I checked everything I could and noticed that the sink was broken, but I had nothing to fix it with. After a minute or so, I left the kitchen and went to the laundry room where I found my first clue. I went to the bathroom to quickly search for more clues and pressed the button, which just turned out to be the toilet flush. But what I didn't know is that I missed something very important inside that bathroom. I went to the next door, which turned out to be locked. Downstairs I found a bar where I quickly started searching behind the paintings and started clicking the bottles, hoping one of them would drop. And that is when I noticed an empty bottle laying on the floor. I looked into the barrels and found yet another clue, but this time I was close to solving that clue. I noticed that the background colors matched and started solving it, but nothing happened. As I searched the game room, I found a secret room behind a painting. Inside, a game I absolutely despised awaited me. My track record with this game was less than remarkable, and the few times I managed to complete it were purely accidental. I paused, took a deep breath, and mumbled a firm "Nope." I made my way upstairs to the kitchen and filled the empty bottle with water. Using the water, I managed to fix the broken sink, which in turn granted me access to the keys for the attic. What is wrong with my inventory? Anyway, instead of going to search for the attic, I went downstairs to search for more clues and found a barrel hidden below a potted tree, which had scissors that could be used to cut white carpets. I made my way to the home cinema and looked at every corner of it and found two things. First, a button which opened a secret tunnel with a chest at the end, but was far out of my reach. Secondly, the keys to the master bedroom. I completed the next clue and went into the cellar, where I found paper and a wall that required an explosive. Back in the office, I decided to put the printer to work. With a simple click, it spit out a paper displaying a 5-digit code. I headed to the top floor and found a full set of netherite armor. Again, not realizing it wasn't just for decoration. I unlocked the master bedroom and found two things. First, a barrel hidden under the bed with yet another clue, and secondly, a safe that gave me a keycard. I entered the bathroom and found the keys to the garage inside the drain, but I was not ready for the loud sound of water splashing from the shower head above me. I lowered down my volume and left the master bedroom, completely unaware of the obvious detail I had just missed. I unlocked the garage door, and that is where I noticed a bench that was used to craft explosives, but I didn't have any of the required items. I searched the barrels beside the bench and found a clue that I was already familiar with. Climbing the car, I noticed an axe laying on the top shelf, and a button at the corner of the room with a candle guide. I ignited the candles in the prescribed order and obtained keys to a secret chest. I quickly ran to the office to unlock the chest, but it wasn't it. Perhaps it was used for the chest hidden beneath the cinema. I went upstairs to complete the white puzzle, but then noticed that one of these similar puzzles had completely different colors, and so I realized that I had mistaken two shades of grey. I quickly went to fix it and completed the puzzle, but nothing special happened. I used the axe to break down the boarded up door, and that is when I entered a new puzzle. I needed to place each food in the rightful order. How was I supposed to know which is the correct one? I went to the dining room and noticed something that I haven't paid attention to earlier. On each chair, there was a Roman numeral. I noted every food by order and went downstairs to complete a puzzle. Completing the puzzle gave me wire cutters. I tried using the keycard only to find it required a power source. With the keys to the attic in hand, I went upstairs to unlock the attic. Not sure why I didn't do it after completing the white puzzle, but it had exactly what I needed just a few seconds ago. I went back to the power source and used the keycard, and that is what a secret room revealed in front of me. Behind the laser door, there was a key inside a glass box. Besides me, there were wires I had to cut, but I first needed to turn off the alarm. I went upstairs to check the rest of the rooms and yet again missed a very obvious detail in the master bedroom. I checked one of the rooms and noticed something white on the top shelf. I checked the third bathroom and found nothing, or so I thought. I checked the third room and found gunpowder on the shelf and fuse in the last room. I then went straight to the garage to craft the explosives. I carried the TNT down to the cellar, ignited it, and then it blasted a hole in the wall. Turns out, there was a secret room housing yet another puzzle. There were 5 flower pots and 5 types of wood in the background. I searched the entire house for saplings, collected them, and placed each of them at the correct spot. I now hit the button to turn off the alarm. I went to turn off the alarm. Now it was finally time to cut off the wires. There were 9 wires I had to cut in the correct order, guided by the lamps. I wrote down all the colors by order and went to work. Cutting the last wire was a success, and the lasers disappeared, but the key was still locked in the box. I wasn't sure if I needed a key to unlock it or something to break it with, but so far I had nothing. For the next minute, I was lost, just roaming around the house. But then I noticed the scissors that were always in my sight. Right, I had to cut white carpets, and I knew exactly where I could find them. I went upstairs and went inside the master bedroom. Cutting the carpets revealed a double chest with a clue. It was rather easy to understand what it was based on the golden arrows. I ran back downstairs towards the laundry room and started turning the arrows based on the clue. But when I completed it, the arrows disappeared and nothing happened. My time was up and I had to go to my martial arts class. I logged back in 3 hours later. I ran back upstairs while running through 2 empty armor stands, and then it struck me. Earlier I tried undressing Steve. I know, it sounds bad, but that's how I always act when I see armor stands. No, that sounds even worse. Anyway, I figured out that the reason the blocks didn't match the armor stands is because it was a puzzle. I equipped every armor stand with its correct armor based on the blocks beneath them. And sure enough, I was making progress. Each armor stand gave me a different colored die that could be used to activate a bridge. I went to the home cinema to activate the bridge, only to then realize that 2 puzzles remained to reach the chest. I got out of there and went to complete the third puzzle. There were 10 levers, and it wasn't hard to understand that it had something to do with the 10 colored concretes in the living room. I started searching the house again, and after 2 minutes, I came to a room that I visited only once throughout the entire time of playing the map. The bathroom behind the laundry room hid a key behind the toilet. Changing perspectives early in the game denied me from seeing the key. Finally, I had the keys to the office chest. Inside the chest, I obtained the clue I was looking for, and now I had everything to complete the third puzzle. And now, it was time to solve the last puzzle. I really wished for it to be an optional puzzle, but it wasn't. I carefully tried to solve the puzzle without relying on my history with it. After all, one mistake can lead to a never-ending puzzle solving. Just kidding, I had no clue what I was doing. But then, I did it. I completed the last puzzle. Now, it was finally time to unlock this secret chest. Inside, there was a sledgehammer. After all this time, after all the patience, I finally could let it out by smashing the glass box and obtaining the keys to escape the house. I unlocked the front door and Steve was already waiting, cheering me up. While it might look like I was excited, I was actually trying to knock him out. But he simply didn't care. He was really waiting for me the whole 37 minutes. And now, this is where I must come clean. I might have already tackled this map before. The first time around, it took me a whopping 1 hour and 44 minutes, but the video I ended up with was a laggy mess that drove me nuts, despite using the same OBS settings I always did. I tried all sorts of fixes and even updated my graphics card, but nothing worked. I went to bed frustrated and woke up the next day only to spend more hours trying to find a solution, but no matter what I did, the lag hit after just 40 to 50 seconds of recording. I tested each setting by playing survival and recording for a few minutes until I finally found something that worked. And secondly, since it took me over half an hour to complete the last puzzle by accident in my first run, I threw in the towel and just looked up a YouTube walkthrough showing how to solve that specific puzzle. Long story short, I decided to take it slow and play the part of a newcomer playing the map. I hope that it isn't too big of a problem though. I mean, at the end of the day, I spent 1 hour and 44 minutes only to look at a video that looks like a slideshow made in PowerPoint.
Hold me close till I get up.